Hello everyone, Creepercraft Guy here, and I am back! I know over the past couple of weeks I have been uploading, like, just very subtle videos, such as, like, the Nightcore videos I made, which is gonna become something on my channel now, hopefully. But I just wanna let you know, I am 100% back now, at least I hope so. I have, I finished my last exam today. I have one more week at school, and then it is the summer holidays, and I'm really looking forward to that. But I thought, just to celebrate my return, I guess is the word I'm looking for, I'm going to upload the first episode of Fakemon characters now. In case you didn't know, just before my exams actually started, I uploaded the very last episode of the actual Pokemon. And in this next bit, I'm actually going to be in this next section of the series, I'm actually going to be going over characters, story, the map, which, by the way, was not made by me because I suck at drawing maps, and actually something I've done that not a lot of people have actually done so far, exclusive moves, like new moves that I introduced just for this game. But we're going to go one by one, and today we're going to be starting off with the characters, and we're going to do two categories of characters today. The first one is the player characters, and the second one is the rival and friend characters, or quite important people you should know, basically. See my old book that had all the Fakemon in it? We're looking at this book now! And there's a tumble dryer going on in the background that's like really distracting the video. Shut up, tumble dryer! Okay, I'm sorry, I can't turn the tumble dryer off because there's still stuff in it, but you're gonna have to deal with that now. But in this book here, which by the way is Hogwarts branded School for Witchcraft and Wizardry, because funnily enough, I'm a big fan of Harry Potter. And in case you couldn't tell, I'm also, my absolute favourite house in the Harry Potter universe is Ravenclaw. So I've got a Ravenclaw branded book here, and inside it, the very first thing that comes up, the important characters section on my Pokemon series. One last thing I wanted to mention before I actually get into this episode is that, unlike with the Fakemon, I actually did not hand draw these trainer characters. I created these trainers using a Pokemon trainer creator by a DeviantArt user called, I'm gonna try and read that, Hyperienan, yeah. Pokemon Creator version 2 is the thing I use to create these trainers. So if you want to go make your own trainer, I would also recommend I would recommend checking this one, and also one by Joyling, someone else on DeviantArt who also made a trainer creator. But this is the one I used to create these characters, in case you were wondering. So without further ado, let's get right into this book. Now, this book basically covers, like, 4 different kinds of characters in 5 technically. 5 different kinds of characters in the story of this game, which are the playable characters, the rival characters, quote-unquote, the gym leaders, the Elite Four, and other characters in the story that, like, just kind of, they're quite important, but, like, oh, and also evil teams, I forgot. We're gonna get right in with the player character, and these are the 2 player characters I had. Now, I actually imagined this region, this sort of game, in 2 ways. One of which was a sort of nod to the games, which these 2 here are finally that tumble dryer, god damn it, to nod to, like, game characters, like, kind of like Nate and Rosa from Black and White 2, they're the first 2 that pop into my head. But also I imagined it as if they were characters from the anime, like if they were on their own journey with each other. And obviously they have canon names, even though they're not used in the game. The boy's name is Paul, and the girl's name is Arial. And the story is the same. Basically, they're a young boy / girl on a Pokemon adventure. In the anime, it's with each other, they're brother and sister. And I actually did give them anime teams and starters. In the canon of this, I quote-unquote, Paul chooses Embunny as his starter, and Arial chooses Ernseed. But by the end of the story, their teams are as followed. As you probably guessed already, Paul's team, obviously as his starter, by the end of it he has Emberacier. Then he has Jeagle, Ghoulbouch, Dolphinity, Ulteon, and Ecils. As for Arial, she has Ernspine by the end of the series, and the rest of her team is Mosquetti, Firhiena, Shorro, Stegmite, and Kolb. Okay, so we've done the two-player characters, and now we're starting off with the rival characters in the game, starting with the more friendly of the three rivals, which is Linda. Her personality is very similar to that of May from the Hoenn games, where she's a very clever and calm individual, and she just wants to befriend every Pokemon possible. In the games, the games will never be a thing, but if the games existed, she would always choose the starter that is weaker to yours, but considering Paul and Arial are two characters in the show, she has a different starter Pokemon in the actual show instead of the games. So, her starter Pokemon in the show is Lemur, the regional rodent, I guess is the right phrase for it, which eventually becomes Needlemur. And she has other team members, which are Merezuzz, Unfairy, Gatopillar, and Acino. And after the story event, she also catches a Bustro later on in the game. Now we're going to get into the sort of jerk rival in the game, and that is this guy. His name is Stewie. And no, not the character from Family Guy. I don't watch that show. His name is just Stewie. And, he is more of a jerk towards Paul than Linda is. And he is mainly rivals with Paul, but, they are still friends. He's basically like Blue or Silver, and he lives in the same town. And he also got his Pokemon on the same day as Paul and Arial. And obviously he is the key rival in the game, which means that his starter Pokemon is the one that he chooses is the one that's stronger against yours. Obviously, considering he's Paul's rival in the series, and Paul chose Obviously, because he's Paul's rival in the series, he chooses the Pokemon that is stronger against Paul's. And Paul chose Embunny, so he chose Capybara, which eventually became Capibattle, but obviously he'd choose whatever starter is stronger against yours. But the rest of his team members are Bullflighter, Kinko, Burning Orb, Kaboo, and Ferocious, his secret weapon sort of thing. The very last of the three rivals is this guy named Edward, whose trainer class is Mystery Man. And he's a mysterious Pokemon trainer who travels this region to learn more about the Pokemon in the region, and he's incredibly strong. And the secret behind his character is he's basically Steven, who is a character who helps you out a lot in the series and in the show, but by the end of the game, he turns out to be the regional champion. He's the champion of the Pokemon League. And that is what he is. Not only is he a Mystery Man, but he's also the Pokemon League champion. Now, obviously, you can't be the Pokemon League champion without having an equally strong team. Obviously, and this might have seemed a bit obvious before I actually started talking about it, but his number one Pokemon and his partner, I guess, is Weirdemon. I noticed that a lot of the... Shush, tumble dryer. I also noticed that a lot of the champions seem to use pseudo-legendaries, like Steven uses Metagross and Lance uses 3 flippin' Dragonites. So, he has Weirdemon, and his other team members consist of Kencobra, Bassizer, Ghoulpair, Burndonna, and Cutty Shark. But yeah, that is basically it for this episode, and I really hope you enjoyed. Fakemon is not dead yet, and we're gonna keep going over these things. In the next episode, we will cover all 8 gym leaders, and yes, I've done that's 5, 8 gym leaders, and yes, I brought gym leaders back because Island Trials. I'm not gonna say they suck; they're quite good, but I prefer gyms. And we're gonna go over that next episode. So until then, see you later.